Let's go ahead and buy in. We got no reward out of that. So we need to do a little bit better this time. The Rejuvenators were fine in that deck, honestly. I didn't mind anything about that. All right, so pack one, pick one. The Sift is something to think about. It's fairly high power. The Thorn Lieutenant as a 2/3 for 2 is whatever. His abilities are okay. His secondary ability is probably going to actually see play in draft. I think I'll pick it up. I like green right now. I'd like to play green again. I feel like our deck just got totally shit on by pretty unlucky stuff. Was there some stuff I could have played better? I don't think in the second game that we played versus the second player we played against, anything I did had any repercussions. None of my player decisions mattered versus that player, in my opinion. Versus the first player, I think there was some small errors I could have corrected, particularly in the sideboarding versus the first player we played against. So I'll grab the Thorn Lieutenant here. It's a rare. It sees play and constructed. It's probably the strongest card on here. Maybe Sift being better. Let's grab the Thorn Lieutenant. Pick 2, we've got a Rabid Bite as removal. We've got a Metamorphic Alteration. I kind of like this card. I don't know if I want to over Rabid Bite. I don't know if I want to go blue-green quite yet. Yeah, I already do that. Verazara. Strongest cards are the Alteration and the Bite by quite a bit. I've never played this card. I hate giving up Bites though. Bites are so good. I think this card has potential. But like Bites are a guaranteed thing. This is removal. Our deck totally lacked removal for blue-green last time. I don't really want to commit to blue-green again right now. I think I'm going to go second one in our color. I'm not committed to green yet either, but I like picking up removal when I can do it. I don't know if this qualifies as a bomb or not. Like in the sense of, is it going to be strong enough to carry a game on its own? Feels like it needs something to go with it, clearly. I think I'm taking the Bite, but I kind of wish to take that card. I think it might be good sometimes. All right, Luminous Bonds is a stronger pick than anything else in here. Different color than we were thinking, but let's grab the Bonds as just pretty solid removal. White-green here. Nothing is particularly good in this pack, power-wise. We could speculate on white-green Aura deck with Druid of the Horns. Druid of the Horn tends to get pretty good value out of auras if you cast those. Nothing else. I mean, the Oaken Form is whatever. The Thornhide Wolves or whatever. Nothing else here is particularly good at all. Swiftclaw is just a basic 3/1. I really don't like 3/1 as stats. I'll grab the Druid of the Horns. Not convinced I want that quite yet, but we'll see. Boggart Brute is really solid. If I wanted to do some sort of red-green creatures on curve style thing. Don't like Bone to Ash. I think it's too slow. Swiftclaw is whatever. These cards are all fairly weak. The Gearsmith Guardian is good with blue creatures. The Bristling Boar is a totally decent 4/3. Has some synergy with Aura decks. If we're looking to build auras right now, which we kind of are, the Boar is not a bad one to throw a enchantment on. I think I'd prefer the Boar over the Brute. We know we're playing green. The Brute would be speculative red, and I might end up green-red, but then I'm tossing Luminous Bonds, which is one of the strongest cards I've already picked. So I think I'd grab the Boar. Mighty Leap, Sentinel, bunch of black cards, Uncomfortable Chill, red-white mana. I don't mind Mighty Leap, but I'm going to pick up the Sentinel. Again, pretty good synergy with an Aura deck. I'm going to grab an Aura here. I think it's also... Disperse is probably the strongest card. Mighty Leap is decent. Oaken Form is decent, especially with the cards we've already drafted. Titanic Growth is a nice card that we missed in our last draft as a way of actually being quasi-removal. I think it's probably the best card here. How did the almost mono green enchant deck do from yesterday? I think we went 5 with that. 5 wins. Let's grab Titanic Growth. Swiftclaw, Rustwing Falcon, Vanguard, Highland Game. I'm going to grab the Falcon with the idea that maybe we do auras in the air and beat him down. The Highland Game would be fine if I'm going to go solid green. I'm not sure I'm in white yet, but Highland Game is a low enough power card, and this is only first pack, then I'm willing to speculate a little bit more. I'll take Plummet. Might even main deck it. None of these cards I want to play. I guess the Pack Beast might have some artifact synergy later, but it's pretty unlikely. Take the second Oaken form here and be pretty happy about it. Take a Swift Claw just in case. These cards aren't going to see play. That might, though. Alright, Pack 2. Isareth is really solid, like really solid. Not in our colors, but we're not set on any color. I mean, realistically, these are all quasi-sideboard, right? So, at the moment, we're green. And we could play other players, or other colors. It could be green-black. However, there's a second Luminous Bond and an Angel in here. I would probably pick second Luminous Bonds. Knightly Valor is an aura that has synergy with what we're... I mean, okay, I look at this card and I go, this card's amazing, and it is amazing. But it's double black. It's hard to splash for that. It's not... It doesn't win a game on its own, but it makes it very hard. It's a good when you're ahead card to get further ahead. And auras are kind of get further ahead style play, but doesn't really have any synergy with anything else we've drafted. So a lot of good white cards and a couple good green cards in this pack. I think I would take Bonds over Angel. And I think I might take Knightly Valor at some point, but maybe not. It's fairly slow. It goes wider than it is. It's less of a get bigger single creatures than it is go wide with white. I want the Angel. Angel's won a lot of games, but I think the Bonds is better than a single Angel. Let's grab the Bonds first. Vinemare is amazing and amazing with auras. That's a really good pickup for our deck. Like super good. Like by far the best card on this too for me. Black might be open. I mean, someone just might have got Death Baron and whatever her name is. Let's grab Vinemare. Hexproof is a really powerful ability. Third Bonds seems amazing. This is now premium removal. We've got 3 Bonds and a Rabid Bite. Stag has really good synergy with this deck. Let's grab it. Poison Tip Archer. I want to splash black for that card. The card's really good. Gallant Cav. What's our curve looking like right now? Do I need a 4? Got a lot of 4s, and the 4s are big creatures that I want to throw auras on, not lots of small, wide. I don't really like Swift Claws or Swift Claws right now. So I could speculate on the Archer. I don't think I'm playing 2 Swift Claws if I get the option to do that. Let's grab the Poison Tip Archer, but he probably won't see play. Maybe we'll get some duels and sort it out. Dreadmaw for the later part of our curve seems nice. I like boars here too, but we already have 1 boar. Let's grab the Dreadmaw. Oaken Form or Talons. Both are good for us. I think I'd take first Talons over third Oaken Form. So let's grab that. Pledge isn't even bad. Don't have any Satyrs yet, though. Spider versus Drill Master. It's tough. Seem to have a lot of 2s already, though. All right. We need some 3s. Have a lot of 4s already, though. And we may not actually need... I mean, with 3 Bonds, a Plummet, and a Bite, I don't know that I'm that worried about small flyers. This is a card I don't hate to draw mid-game, too. Like, it's not always just a 2. Although a fucking like Oaken Form Spider is pretty threatening too. I'm gonna grab the Drill Master, but I could have been talked into either for that. Blue-green is not colors we're splashing. The Line Breaker is a 3, but the Guide is a premium 3, and we need 3s. Seems pretty damn good to me. Spider versus Naturalize. Naturalize as a sideboard card, or Johnny's Welcome, or white-blue. I think I'm taking the Spider. Ah, man, I do want the Spider. I kind of want the naturalized sideboard too. Let's grab Spider. He's also kind of a sideboard card. It's a creature to enchant too. These cards don't have any relevance to what we're picking. Just pick one at random. Sentinel, maybe. Highland Game, maybe, but almost certainly not. Another Sentinel, sure. Okay, we've got kind of our dream opening. All right, third pack. We've got Cage, Johnny's Last Stand, Titanic Growth, Bristling Boar, Courser. Courser is a premium 3. But I think it's going to be Cage and just run a fuck ton of removal with this. Johnny's Last Stand is good. Creating 4/4 flyers is good, but this is kind of slow. It requires one of our creatures die. We might not actually do that since we're running big buffed creatures. I think I'm going to take the Cage. This is also a quasi-artifact and enchantment removal, which is nice in a way that Bonds isn't. So I'm going to take Cage over Johnny's Last Stand for this deck. Green Seeker, I'll take over everything else here. Green Seeker is just really good at smoothing our draws. I wouldn't mind another Rabid Bite, although we're starting to actually get quite a lot of removal. I wouldn't mind Invoke the Divine or Center Courser, but I'm grabbing Green Seeker and being really happy about that. This is another Ajani's Last Stand. What in the fuck? I still think it has no synergy with our deck. The Angel, on the other hand, does have some synergy with our deck a little bit. It's kind of a top-end flyer. I mean, not amazing. We're not going wide with creatures, so it's not super good. I think I'm angeling over Ajani's here. It's tough. I don't think this, like, yes, we will lose creatures sooner or later. That's definitely true. But it's also a token, and it's also an enchantment. So play the enchantment, there's enchantment destruction. Play the token, there's any sort of bounce stuff. Like, and it's not tempoed, where the Angel is tempoed for us, right? Take an Angel over Ajani's Last Stand here. We just passed 2 Ajani's Last Stands, which seems crazy. Titanic Growth, Rustwing Falcon, Dragon Horde. Don't have any ramp in our deck, but our deck is not really based around getting to the end of our curve. Our last deck was. Ramp would have been better in that. We have no dragons. This does give us a mana of any color, so we can use it as splashing if we want to go Poison Tip Archer, but I probably don't want to go Poison Tip Archer in this deck, quite honestly. So, probably Rustwing Falcon here as another flying threat. This is interesting. We've got a Courser for a nice solid 3-drop. Alternatively, we have a Rogue's Glove, which I'm a little interested in, or Line Breaker's just immediately worse than the Courser, of course. I don't need a third Falcon. I'm okay with Courser. I wouldn't mind those gloves. 4th Sentinel is pretty unexciting. Magister's Scepter is really unexciting. I'm not playing Cavalry. I don't see anything in here I want. Yeah, the gloves might have been good there. Oracle. It's a black-white duel. Maybe we can get our Poison Tip Archer in. But probably just the green draw is probably just better. It's the end of our curve too on 5. Yeah, I don't think wide is really where we want to go with this deck. I don't think. I mean, look at our curve right now. So you guys are really excited about the second cav, right? We've got a fuck ton of valuable 4s already, and we have enchants for 3 and 2. So my expectation is that we're not trying to go wide and build a board and then like charge through. We're just trying to go big creatures, and I don't think like a couple extra 2/2s for that really matter. The Archer is sick, but it's sick in a different type of game than we're playing. You guys think Archer is good enough? Okay, it's not aggressive. It is Death Touch and Reach. Don't get me wrong. It has a lot of good synergy with like black in general because black does a lot of pinging of life totals, and this helps with that. It does a lot of synergy with recursive creatures, which we don't have. It goes a lot of synergy with wide creatures, which we don't have. For 4 mana, it's pretty low power, which isn't something we're doing. Like, I think the Oracle's a better pickup than Sanctuary here. So I'm going to take the Oracle. The Basilisk is fine here. So is the Knight's Pledge. We're a little low on 3-drops. Although we have been filling that out. I don't think I'd play Pledge over Oakenform. Although it's pretty amusing to go Rustwing into Pledge, but let's go Basilisk. Second Titanic Growth is welcome here. Invoke the Divine as a sideboard. Seems great. Card's really strong. Naturalize as a... Do we already have Naturalize? We don't. So let's get a Naturalize as well. That's 2 artifact and creature removal. The Mighty Leap's interesting, but I don't think I want to play another combat trick, and I prefer Titanic Growth. I don't want Sea Serpent. I'll take the Line Breaker, but I doubt he sees play. Take the Infectious Horror, and I'll take the Prodigy. Okay, so it's interesting. We passed 2 Ajani stands last stand, and we also passed the Black Duel, because I don't think we're playing Poison Tip Archer, as strong as that card is. Yeah, we got a lot of cards to cut, because we have a lot of playables. Not playing Mighty Leap right now. Drill Masters don't have a lot of synergy with this deck, but maybe Swift Claw has no synergy. Don't need... why is it from here? Don't need 4 Sentinels. I think 2 Sentinels is probably fine. Naturalize, not main deck. Plummet, not main deck with a lot of removal. Line Breaker, not main deck. Guide maybe is a not main deck too. Invoke the Divine, not main deck. It's too bad we didn't get any Satyr enchanters for this deck. We have so many enchantments. Between Cage, Triple Bonds, Double Oakenform, and Talons, we have a lot of enchantments, and it's really a bummer that we don't get to get value out of that. I don't think Spider makes main deck. Still a lot of cards to cut. 4 more. 6 drop the end. There's some decent 7s, especially in green. Three bonds to put on the Druid of Horns, right? Falcons might be unnecessary. Like opening Falcon into like a bonds a little bit later is okay, but it's still only a 4. I mean, it's a 4/5 flyer. Wish we had an axe. The gloves would have been great this game for sure. So what am I not cutting? Angels doesn't have a ton of synergy with this deck either, but I'm not cutting Fine Mare. That's gonna be too slow. I like my removal. What am I on for creatures? On 17 creatures. So maybe 2 more creatures. I want to have enough targets for my enchants. I think one of these 3s is looking a bit sketchy. Perhaps the Basilisk. I love this card, but I think maybe we trade that out. Titanic Growth can go. We have a lot of removal. Maybe we can get rid of 1 Titanic Growth. I want my Talons. I want the double Oakenform. We've got a fair number of 2-drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2-drops. We cut 2 Greenwood Sentinels. Do you guys prefer the Sentinels as 5/5 land creatures starting at 2 with Vigilance to the Rustwing Falcons? Because I think I do. I think I might cut both those. And I want to throw in 1 more Sentinel right now. I'm debating doing that over the Drill Master. $14 creatures, a little lower than I'd like with so many enchantments. think this is a 16 land deck. I want to hit 2s and 3s pretty reliably. I think 4s are pretty valuable too. I don't think it's a 16 land deck. I'm going to complain about flooding every time I flood, but I flood a unbelievably high percentage of my games, which seems fucking insane to me. Play Drill Master. Yeah, I might play Drill Master too. My first strike is actually kind of really good. It's just that I want to be able to play a 2-drop pretty much every game. And I don't know about white mana in the early game. And I want to keep my creature count at least at 14. Preferably even higher. So we're splashing white for removal with 3 bonds, a cage, and a stag. This is tempo beat down. Hope the board doesn't stall out. All right. No, I'm not playing Mighty Leap over Titanic Growth. Let's try this. All right, this is the perfect image for what I'm feeling right now. So let's get that in there. We're going to call this Tilt Auras. Aura Tilt? Aura Tilt. No, Tilt Auras. Okay. That's my ideal color deck, whichever one has the best cards in it. All right, let's fix our land. So all of our early game is green. We do want some white. We have no double green. It is possible we want it to be played 2 green spells. I think this is maybe a 10-7. Okay. All right. Back in a second. We'll get started.